September 9th, 2016. Guys, a short video, but I think it's important. Notice there's another model now that's joined this northern turn of the storm we're watching coming in under Miami. And it's interesting that notice how it has the peaks and dips in that particular spaghetti model there. That means sudden and fast turns of the eye wall. Now, that's kind of hard to predict, but if they're doing that, they're seeing rapid changes in wind direction. Now, what's happened, and this concerns me more than anything, and I'm going to kind of stick my neck out here, and if I'm wrong, then just come on tomorrow and chew me out. I don't care. I've got to say what I feel about what I see going on. Now, notice today, the front storm was at a 40% chance. We're still 70 there, 10 there. But this storm has not gone to 10. It's gone to 30% chance of development instead of 40. I think it's a mistake. Again, I'm probably sticking my foot in my mouth. I've done it before, but my job is to let you know what I think. You decide, and at least it's your decision. I'm going to show you why they lowered it, and I'm going to tell you why I think they're making a mistake. Here is your 5-day forecast. You still got the big storm curving up into the North Atlantic. We still got the one in the middle, and we got this one at 30%. Now, the one in the middle, guys, it deserves as much attention as the one in the Gulf because of the effects it could have in Carolina. Now, here's where I think they're making their mistake. I said it this morning when they rapidly changed it from a 10 to a 40% chance. What you see, if you don't look at it closely, is the storms are getting pushed completely back away from the center of circulation. You see, this afternoon when that happened, they lowered that percentage. But since that point, look at the storm clouds gathering into the center of the circulation as the sun goes down. Now, it's getting dark, but you're seeing the reflection of the sun setting in the west over California, guys, at this time. Think about it. If you've ever flown in an aircraft, you know exactly what I'm talking about. See the tips of the high clouds? But before this started happening, they lowered that percentage. But as it gets darker, you're seeing the cloud tops get higher and higher. Look at this. I got it real slow so you don't miss that point. Even right before it gets dark here in the extreme southeast of the United States, they're gathering up. Now, it happened last night. They should have paid attention then. It was getting warmer. And right before we lost visible images yesterday, there was nothing. Overnight, suddenly we have a 10 to a 40% chance suddenly of a storm here. What they have miscalculated, again, the same way they did with Hermine, is the temperature of the Gulf Stream and the temperature of the Gulf of Mexico. So even though it's getting darker, the sun is getting off the top of these clouds. So it's losing that heat source, but what is it doing? It's gaining the most energy that it needs, and that's that superheated water compared to the rest of the Atlantic and compared to a lot of other places on this planet. Now let's switch and watch what's called the supercell composite. And you can see here earlier in the day, the supercells were in the back of the storm. You see that? The lower the number, the stronger the supercell. It can get even lower than this into 0, -1s, -2s. And again, the wind shear stripping it back as it goes under the Florida Keys. They start to lower that from 40 to 30%. They haven't calculated the heat factor. Watch this composite change, and then we're going to switch it to the radar. The radar is going to show the same thing. As it comes under the Keys, the rain and the storms back out. They lower it from 40 to 30. Mistake, in my opinion. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but it's better to be wrong and people be prepared than be right and they're not prepared. But watching the last few images, here's your radar. Watch how it increases as it gets closer to dark. Check this out, guys. That's the last frame. Those are starting to wrap. It's getting into warmer water. That's my point. Just don't let your guard down, even though they've lowered it from a 40 to a 30% chance. And I can see why, because it was getting stripped back at that time as far as the tops of the clouds. But now that and again, I said this earlier today, you're going from that west to east wind that's tearing the top of the clouds off into a wind that's going from south to north. So you won't have that shearing effect. And now it's just hot water. It doesn't have to be daylight at this point. These storms can form very quickly. This one formed in the middle of the night last night in cooler water. Again, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and you can all you guys can tell me in the morning. But don't let your guard down. This is a heads up. Be safe.